Remainder theorem was where we got a point, right? When we did our synthetic division, if we happen to be dividing by 1, that was the x value. Whatever the remainder would be, that'd be the y value, correct? What if the remainder was 0? Well, then it ended up being one of our roots, and that was our factor theorem, to where you would get a 0 for your remainder. So looking at this, we can't factor it, correct? And they didn't give us any roots at all. How many possible roots should we find? 4. Whatever the degree is, that's what we're going to find. So we could find 4 roots. What kind of roots could they be? What are our possibilities? How many are imaginaries? Or 4. What else could we get? We could get all real roots, which means we get no imaginary roots. What else could we get? 2 real roots, 2 imaginary roots, right? Okay. So rational root theorem is a way to take infinite possibilities. I mean, for example, you could sit here and say, oh, I'm going to guess that 1 is a root. Aren't there infinite possible guesses for that? That sounds horrible. The rational root theorem will narrow that down for us. Okay. So we're going to do, I call it our P's and Q's. You're getting ready to find out as soon as I got my pen working. So we got our P's and our Q's. Our P's are going to be the last number. Notice I don't care anything about the sign. And then it's going to be the first number. Oh, this is an easy one. We need the factors of 2. So the factors of 2 would be plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 2. Then we need the factors of 1, which is just plus or minus 1. This is really a nice one. They're not going to be this nice. And the reason I say that is because in a minute you're going to see we're not going to have many possibilities. So I have to take each one of those on the top and put it on everything over the bottom. So in this case, it looks like our possible roots are going to be plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 2. So of the infinitely many possibilities of roots, those are the ones that we have narrowed it down to. A whole 4 numbers. That's a lot better than infinitely many. So which one do you want to try first? I typically go with 1 or negative 1 because it seems like those are always one of the factors. X plus 1, X minus 1, right? So what do you want to do? Plus 1 or minus 1? So we'll go with 1 then. We're going to write it out. It goes 1, 1, negative 3, negative 1, 2. This is Friday, dear. Shouldn't have watched the video. So then or come to tutoring this morning, right? Remember, I want to remind you, if it's a degree of 4, we should have 5 numbers, right? So then we got, bring down the 1, and we multiply. 1 times 1 is 1. And combine. 1 times 2 is 2. And combine. 1 times negative 1 is, and combine. And looky there, we found a root already. That's fabulous. So now we know we have a root at 1. This is now going to be a cubic, so I'm going to rewrite it because based upon the pattern of the numbers, I'm betting money that we can factor it. So now it's x cubed plus 2x squared minus x minus 2. Does it look like it's factorable? So we're going to do parentheses, parentheses. What do the first 2 have in common? And when I factor it out, what am I left with? And the last 2? Leaving me with, so I have x squared minus 1, and I got x plus 1. Now, if I asked you to write it in factored form, you should also be writing that x minus 1 from above, right? This one. But I'm not going to. So now can we factor that one? And what do we get? Ooh, looks like I got 2 of these. Oh, that is x plus 2. Okay, much better. So this is a 1, this is a 2. I have 2x plus, no, I got 2 of these. Correct? So let's see what we got then. Our roots are x such that x equals, and I got -2, multiplicity 1. I got -1, multiplicity 1. I got 1, multiplicity 2. Everybody agree? Sure. We've got a y-intercept at 2. We've got a root at -1, and we got a root at -2. My right-end behavior is, my left-end behavior is, because the degree is, okay. At root 1, I'm going to bounce, come back up and grab the y-intercept, go back down, and come right back. Wow.
I'm not gonna be here.
How are we doing on that? Okay, let's try another. This one. So once again, they didn't give me any roots. If they gave me 1 root, that would have been great, because then I could have gotten this down to a quadratic. But as is, I've got my p's over my q's. Remember, it's going to be the constant over the leading coefficient. If you do those backwards, it's going to be a mess, and it's not going to work. So then we got plus or minus 1, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 9. Plus or minus 1, and plus or minus 2. So the previous one, we only had 4 possibilities. We're going to have a few more for this one. So I'm going to take everything on the top and put it over 1. So that's going to give me plus or minus 1, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 9. Then after that, I have to take all those numbers and put them over 2. So I'm going to get plus or minus 1/2. I'm going to get plus or minus 3/2. And then I'm going to get plus or minus 9/2. Ugh. Yuckity, yuckity, yuckity. We have a y-intercept at -9. And how many roots are we looking to find? 3 out of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 possibilities. And keep in mind, 2 of them could be the same root. We could have a multiplicity of 2, which would make it even harder. 2 of them could be imaginary, so there might only be 1 down there. Hard stuff. Where do you want to start? Here we go. So I got 1. We're going to say 2, -13, 24, and -9. I got a degree of 3. I got 4 numbers. I'm in good shape. Bring down the 2. And we multiply. Then we combine. And then we multiply. And this is not looking so good. I apparently have a point, according to remainder theorem, where? So I'm going to go down here and plot that point at 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Somehow or another, I have to get from that point down there to that y-intercept. Just saying. It's got to cross there, right? So do you think there's possibly a root? You see how remainder theorem can help us? You think there's a root between 0 and 1? Oh, is there a 1/2? Okay, Greenlee says 1/2. So y'all want to try 1/2? Okay, here we go. 2, -13, 24, -9. 2. When I multiply, what do I get? Okay, -12. Oh, this is looking good now. What do we get? Huh? And then 18. Oh, sweet. We have a factor. So we got a factor now at 1/2, or a root at 1/2. So we got a factor of x minus 1/2. Or have you ever seen a root x minus 1/2? How do you think we write that correctly? It goes x equals 1/2. What if you multiplied both sides by 2 first? And then subtracted the 1. That's what that factor should look like. That's why. Because that's going to come up. Now what degree are we talking about? What? So it's squared. So we're going to rewrite it at 2x squared minus 12x plus 18. And we're ready to factor now. What do we need to make sure we always remember? And the GCF is? So we're left with x squared. Yes. What? Uh-huh. This looks like a perfect square. Any takers? It's definitely got an x.
X minus 3.
You rock. So that means we've got x equals 3 multiplicity 2. So we could bounce out here to 3, and we're going to bounce at that one. Right in behavior. Positive. Left in behavior. So it's going to go down from there. So we're going to bounce. Go get this random number that we found. We come down to our other root and go down through our y-intercept. We okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's try then.